Well, okay, let's turn our attention in this world of indirect proofs to geometry proof. Let's see, before we begin, let's look here. We got a triangle over here, or two triangles over here. And so just by looking at that, well, we know that that side MO and ON are congruent. And then that would mean that angle OMP or OMN, let's say, is congruent to ONM. Okay, well, let's see what we got that we're going to look at here. Indirect proof. Okay, so we're given that MO is congruent to ON. Okay, well, that checks with what we just saw right there, where there's little congruency hash marks. And we're also given that MP is congruent to NP. So these two segments are also congruent. That's given. Wasn't given. We didn't see that on the diagram, but it's given to us. Okay, what are we supposed to prove here? We're supposed to prove that MOP is not congruent. Oh, excuse me. I wrote that down wrong. We're given that MP is not congruent to NP. They're not congruent. So prove then that that angle MOP is not congruent to angle NOP. So I need to erase those congruency angle marks there. Okay, they're gone. All right, let's see. Okay, so we're going to do this by indirect proof. Anybody got to guess what we're going to say the indirect proof is? It's going to be the opposite of what the conclusion, and that's the conclusion right there. How about we say that the indirect proof is that angle MOP is congruent to NOP? What you think? Oh yeah, just so happens that's the case. Indirect proof, angle MOP is congruent to NOP. All right, so we took the opposite assumption of the conclusion of the conditional statement. All right, so let's see. We know that segment MO is congruent to segment ON. We're given that, yep, and we see that there and there. And let's see. Well, we weren't given this, but common sense tells us, and the reflexive property, that segment OP is congruent to segment OP because something is equal to itself. That's the reflexive property. All right. So if angle MOP is congruent to angle NOP, then triangle MOP must be congruent to triangle NOP by side angle side. So let's see if that angle right there is congruent to that, and then we got side angle side side angle side. Okay. Then that would mean that segment MP must be congruent to segment NP by CPCTC, which is congruent parts of congruent triangles are congruent. But that's going to contradict that given statement right there. So the conclusion that segment MP is congruent to segment NP contradicts the assumption contradicts the given information, it contradicts the given. Thus, the assumption, the indirect proof, is false. Therefore, angle MOP is not congruent to angle NOP. Okay, go back over that. This conclusion that we get from this, congruent parts of congruent triangles are congruent, which means that this must be congruent to that, violates the given right there, and so therefore it contradicts the given, making the assumption false, and then therefore angle MOP is not congruent to NOP, which is the original conclusion. All right, nothing like using indirect proofs, I'm telling you.